Have you ever felt that sinking feeling that you've missed opportunities as life goes by? Perhaps you're in your 30s right now and you're thinking about how can I restart my life? How can I restart my career? How can I restart my relationships? And how can I pursue new dreams and goals? Well, I have some good news for you. There's no better time to restart than in your 30s. It's never too late to start something new at this age. In this video, I'm going to debunk the myth that it's only in the 20s that you need to make all the major changes and you need to go into your 30s in a more stable way. And I'm going to show you practically how the 30s can be the best way for you to reinvent yourself personally, professionally, and in every area of your life. I'm going to show you how you can embrace a new chapter in your life and make this a new beginning for yourself. Your best years may be starting right now, and I'm going to show you how. So, are you ready? Before we get started, just hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel and the video so that you get notified on more videos like this. I'm going to go straight into my mind map and I'm going to be walking you through 8 different aspects that I'm going to share in this particular video. The first part is I'm going to talk about what are the 6 stages of life. The second part, I'm going to talk to you about what are the aspirations that people have at different stages in their life, starting from when you are young to now 30s and even beyond. The third part, I'm going to talk about what is usually the situation of people in their 30s, and you may be going through that situation. The fourth part, I'm going to talk to you about what is the game plan if you want to reinvent yourself. The fifth part, I'm going to talk to you about the money situation, the relationship situation, number 6, the health situation, and finally your passions. So by the end of this particular video, you're going to have super clarity on what you need to do next in order to really take your game to the next level and to feel more fulfilled at the end of the day. It's not about just making more money or being in a good relationship but having poor health, or having good health but having a poor relationship, or making more money but having a bad relationship. So everything, it's about holistic success. And for that, you got to reinvent yourself. So let's get into the first part. Let's look at the 6 different stages that we go through in our life. For that, let's jump into the mind map. The first stage is what I call as the foundation stage. It is the stage from 0 to 12, where what is happening in the foundation stage is we go to school, we learn all the basic elementary. Moving from middle to high school is the foundation phase. We are mostly in the academia. The second phase of life is the phase where the preparation happens. This is where the pressure gets built on preparing for your exams and going all the way till 21, trying to make your way through some of the biggest institutions and colleges that may be there. This is the preparation phase. The third phase of life is what I call as the implementation phase. So once you get your first job, or maybe you're just figuring out, you've gone to a degree program and you're implementing the knowledge and you're learning new skills and you're building all the way till 30. And this is the time where a lot of people try different things, they go through different experimentations, and then they come to this particular phase. And then the phase after implementation is what I call as the acceleration phase. This is the phase where something is working and you grow in your career, you grow in your business, you grow in your skill set that you've actually built. And normally this happens in that stage of 30 to 40. The fifth phase is the contribution phase. So usually that 40 to 50 is a time where you've gained enough experience and now you're giving back to society. And probably there are 2 categories. One category is people are really skyrocketing in their career because they have stuck to one thing and they have hit it off well. And you have another category where they're still figuring out in their 40s and 50s what to do, but it is still the contribution phase. And the last phase is the relearning phase, the phase where you got to readapt yourself and go back to implementing new knowledge. And though I've mentioned 50 plus over here, the relearning, readaptation can happen at any point of time. Even though this is the template that the society gives you, I want to tell you that these are the 6 phases, but it does not have to fall under the same age groups that are there. Why am I recording this video is to let you know that even if you're in your 30s, you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself. You have the opportunity to set a new foundation, a new preparation, new implementation, new acceleration, contribution, and learning, because this template which has been given to us is an outdated template when it comes to age. And that's why I've folded all of the age here. You will be able to redefine yourself by looking at your 30s as the best way to restart. So let's understand the second part. Let's talk about what aspirations people have in each of these stages. If you look at the first stage, the first stage is the stage of the foundation. The aspiration is to learn the basics. Now, let's say if you're in your 30s right now and you want to restart, what you can do is go back to learning the basics on whatever new thing that you want to learn. And of course, I'll share you with that more in the game plan. And the second part is in the preparation phase. So the aspiration, the preparation phase is to gather new information. If you look at the phase where you are going from your high school to your senior school to college, you are gathering more and more information. And let's say you want to reinvent yourself in the 30s, is look at new knowledge, look at new ways you can actually reinvent yourself. That comes to the third phase, which is implementation phase. So the aspiration and implementation phase is to build new skills which are more relevant, more current, and that can help you. The fourth phase is the acceleration phase, and the aspiration and acceleration phase is to grow your network. The fifth phase is the contribution phase, where the aspiration here is to leverage your existing resources to scale and grow much faster. And the sixth phase, which is the relearning phase, the aspiration is to renew your vision and to reinvent yourself. So as you can see on the screen, we have foundation, preparation, implementation, acceleration, contribution, and relearning. And this can happen right in your 30s, meaning it does not have to be only from age 7, 8, 12 all the way till 50 plus. You can do all these 6 steps within your 30s itself. Let me explain to you by understanding what goes on in the mind of 30-year-old. Normally, this is like the regular situation 30s. The first one is maybe you are in a young family, or you may be single. Maybe you decided to get married early and start a young family, and that is the choice that you took. Or there are many people in their 30s who do not have a relationship yet. They're still trying to figure it out. They're still exploring, and they're looking for the right partner or the right opportunity. This could be one of the 2 categories of situation that you may be in if you're in your 30s. Now, the other situation that you may be facing if you're in your 30s is the honeymoon period in your career is actually over. Now, those of you who have started off on your job or what at the age of 24, 25, or let's say 26, 27, the honeymoon period is over. Like that initial exciting phase of getting your first job. Now you're beginning to feel the pinch. Maybe this is not what I subscribed for. Maybe this is not what I really like. Now you're starting to question your own decisions on why did I take up this stream of education? Why did I follow my uncle or auntie's advice of going and joining this college? Why did I join this company in the first place? So you start to question, and these questions are beautiful questions that come in at this stage in your life, which is an indicator that you're ready for your next level. The third question that people ask is, take on more responsibilities. Maybe you have a responsibility to take care of your parents because they may be getting old. You may be in a situation where you're taking on responsibility to take care of your kids if you're a parent, or maybe both. So suddenly the responsibility quotient has gone up higher in your 30s. Now this is the situation that may be in. And then you also take on many financial commitments, the EMIs, the loans, because you're getting into a job, and now the pressure is on to earn more so that you can actually pay up your loans and be more financially stable. The other situation in your 30s is that you're working to earn is the main focus. How do you create financial stability? Like this 30 to 40s period is the most critical period where everyone is looking for more financial stability and future for your kids and future for your parents. And then this is also a stage where usually all the setbacks in life comes in. I'm talking about setbacks and life lessons. It could be health issues. It could be relationship issues. It could be losses. And this is where life really hits you, and there's so much going on in your 30s. It puts you in a zone of questioning whether what you're doing has meaning or not. Though that I've shared the 6 different aspects that people go through in their 30s, I'm going to give you a game plan right now. If you're ready for this game plan, just type ready for game plan in the comment box, because I'm going to give you a game plan on how you can make your 30s your best years ever without getting into this downward spiral of getting caught up in this loop of responsibilities and multiple other things. Those are going to be there definitely, but how do you change your perspective and outlook towards your current situation? So for the game plan, I'm going to share with you 6 different steps. So the first step is, if you want to reinvent yourself in your 30s, is you need to have awareness of where the world is going. Have an awareness of what do you really want. Have an awareness of what is your ideal life. There are most people who don't have a clue on what they really want. They have not actually penned it down on paper on what is your ideal life. So in 2015, I was just 32 years old, and I was going through the same situation. Young family, 3-year-old son. I was going through a rough relationship because the financial situation was bad. I was running an agency. I have 35 employees working for me. I did not have proper cash flow, and I was really struggling hard. And during that time, I actually took a bunch of A4 sheets and I wrote down what my perfect day would be. And I wrote it from start to finish, 14 pages on when I would wake up in the morning, what kind of work would I do, how would I spend time with my family, how would I run my business, then how would my mind situation be when I go to sleep, what would be my spiritual activities. And it's just a perfect day from the time I wake up in the morning till I sleep in the night. And you know what? In 2015, I was going through the most stressful situation in my life. In fact, I went through a panic attack. I could not sleep for 2 weeks. Now, after writing this 15-page document, I just forgot about it and I kept this inside. Today, as I'm recording this video, more than 90% of whatever I'd written in that document, I'm living that right now. It's been a little less than 10 years. But that is what I mean by awareness. You should know exactly what you want. So I had an awareness that technology is moving and I need to build some new skills around this. So the first stage is awareness. The second stage is to get clear on your goals, goal setting. So what I did was I wrote that perfect day, and then I went on to write specific goals, health goals, wealth goals, relationship goals, personal goals. So if you can actually go and write down your top 3 goals on what you really want in each of these areas of your life, then you can go on to the next step, which is skills building. So if you're in your 30s right now, your game plan is, once you know where you want to go, next to that, you can start to map out what are the things that you need to learn and build skills to take you to that particular goal. So for example, when I was writing this thing in 2015, one of the goals I'd written was I wanted to be financially independent. And for that, the skills needed to build was marketing skills, was community building skills, content creation skills. So I needed to build these new skills, and I started to get on this journey of actually building those skills. And that brings me to point number 4, is once you start building skills, you will start to attract opportunities. Success is not something that you chase. Success is something that you attract by being an attractive person, not in terms of looks, by being attractive in terms of value to the marketplace. Now, from 2015, 16, 17, 18, now we went through the grinding phase for a long time. And during this grinding phase, I was building skills, I was having an optimistic mindset, but I was honing my craft year after year after year. Like this video, I'm just recording it in one take spontaneously. Now, these skills, I'm able to have it right now because I've done hundreds and thousands of videos for many, many years. So today it comes more like a second nature to me, creating content and connecting with you on the other side of the screen. And because of this, I started to attract more opportunities. I've worked with people like Robert Kiyosaki, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins. I've had the opportunity to work with some of the biggest of the best names in the industry. And of course, those opportunities increased over time as I built my own community. The 5th part of your game plan is income generation. Okay, you cannot just say that money is not important, only fulfillment is important. Money is a very important thing, especially if you're in your 30s. You have to accelerate the income generation part. And the best part, you don't have to go through a 10-15 year learning curve to generate income. If you're able to focus, follow one mentor, build the skills, and dedicate yourself between 3, 6 to 9 months to mastering a skill, you'll be able to generate income like really, really fast. You know, many of my students, if you go and see on my YouTube channel, I've got a lot of case studies of students who have made multiple 6 figures in revenues. As of today, I've documented more than 70 of my students have made more than 1 crore, and more than 60% of them are not from the industry that I'm in, which is the coaching and digital coaching industry. So with full focus, without any distractions, you'll be able to create income for yourself. And which gives me to the 6th point is, if you're in your 30s, you got to reinvest in your own growth. This is something that I've been doing right through my 30s. I've invested in training programs that I've spent up to 7 lakhs for a 5-day course. As of today, I've spent more than 1 crore in my own personal education and learning in the last 10 years. Now that is the best ROI I've got. I've made multiple crores in my business, more than 50 plus crores, because the best investment that you can ever make is in yourself. When you reinvest whatever you make into your own personal growth, when you're a lifelong learner, when you're continuously updating yourself, that ROI that you'll get is far superior than, real estate or any other form of investment. So just to recap, is your game plan, if you want to really rebuild in the 30s, is to go through the stage of awareness, knowing where the world is going, being clear on your goals, building your skills, attract opportunities, generate income, and start to reinvest in your growth. Let's look at the area of money, okay? Because that's a very important part for you to build stability in your 30s and going all the way to your 50s and 60s, where you can live in abundance. You got to understand that when it comes to money, there are 3 parts. One is, how do you make money? How do you manage money? And then how do you multiply money? When it comes to making money, again, there are 3 ways on how you can make money. The first way is, you can be in a job. Like I'm sharing the screen over here. You can be in a high paying job, and if you're inclined to that. The second one is to be a freelancer, and the third one is to build up solid business. When I say freelancers, you can do work for others as a freelancer. You could build some new skills. And the third way is to actually build a business. And if you look at the different kinds of business models, manufacturing business, there are distribution businesses, there are services oriented businesses, there are franchise oriented businesses, there are aggregator types of businesses. And the business model that I'm in right now is a knowledge business model, is what I call as the freedom business model. How you can build a business from home without having an office, where you just need to have a few employees working for you, literally scale yourself without having large overhead and infrastructure costs as compared to other business models. So to become a business owner, you have to have the acumen, and you got to go through that training process. So for me, right through my early 30s, I was building these entrepreneurial skills. Started my own traditional business. I went through my own ups and downs in managing teams, managing people, managing finances, managing the HR, managing technology, managing the marketing. When it comes to managing money, there are 5 areas to it. TWCGO. T stands for tax, W stands for wealth, C stands for charity, G stands for general, for your household, and O stands for operations, your business operations. So I started to manage my money in a much better way. I'm talking in my 30s itself, early 30s, I started to manage my money, because today I'm 40 plus and I'm actually living in abundance right now. The third part is, how do you multiply your money? So multiplying your money can happen through stocks, real estate, gold, and there are many other vehicles on how you can multiply your money. So if you want to really reinvent yourself in your 30s, see if you can get super duper clarity on your money situation. Be very clear on how do you want to make money. Be very clear on how you want to manage your money. Be very clear on how you want to multiply your money without looking for shortcuts or get rich quick schemes. Because if you're looking for getting rich quick, it's going to hit you back and you're not going to be able to really take it forward. Now let's come to the next part, which is the relationships. As I mentioned before, the 30s is usually a time where most people are struggling in their relationships, or they're trying to figure out because they might have gone through different heartbreaks and heartburns in the 20s, and they suddenly feel that maybe this thing is not for them. Or you have another category of people who are in marriage for a long period of time, but now they're feeling hollow in their relationship. In your 30s, you want to redefine yourself. The first step is to start healing the past. So what do I mean by this? Whatever may be your situation, whether you're married or you're single or you're seeking to get into a relationship, the reason you're in that situation, whatever troubles that you may be going through in a relationship, it means that there is something in your past or some situation in your past that is holding you back from fully utilizing the relationship potential that is there right with you. If you were brought up in a household where your parents were living, a tough relationship, maybe that is going to show up in your current reality. So go heal the past, bless your father, bless your mother, thank them for giving you a lesson so you can actually change the paradigm of your future. The second part of relationship is how you can decide whether you want to be married or single. Okay, now everyone has their own value system. Like for me, my dad got married young. I was born when he was in his 20s and he's now, 60 plus in age, and he's living a really cool life because I'm taking care of him. So that model became the ideal model for me, and I modeled that same model. I also got married early, had kids. Now you may have your own model, whether your model is going to be the family model or it's going to be the single model. Now that's something that you got to decide for yourself. But ultimately, as humans, we need companionship. Now, how are you going to be carrying forward and nurturing that companionship? You got to decide and be clear about it in your 30s. The year before I got married, I took a clean sheet of paper and I made a list of 10 points that I would like to have in my ideal life partner. And you know what? 8 out of 10, I was able to find my life partner within 1 year because I had clarity on who I wanted as my life partner. So when that person showed up in my life, it was a very easy yes. And of course, I had to work on that relationship. It's not love at first sight, or it is not just a relationship that happened. I had to make the relationship work. There's no perfect relationship in this world. And if you've been running away from relationships, you'll continue running away from future relationships. So stop that pattern right now and start working on yourself. And the third part is having clarity and expectations of whatever I shared before. Now let's come to the health part. Usually what happens is in the 20s, usually people abuse themselves like crazy. Drinking, smoking, drugs, overeating, obesity, not really taking care of the health. Now, if you're in your 30s, maybe you have found those indicators that you got to change your lifestyle habits. So my recommendation is, number one, change your lifestyle habits if it is not supporting you. The second thing that you can do is detoxification. If you're into any form of habits, see if you can quit drinking, quit smoking, because if you're smart enough to understand that these habits are going to be reducing your lifespan, you will start to associate yourself with people and environments that's going to help you live a much longer life. Now, it's not just about living a longer life, it's about living a healthy life. What is the point of making so much of money and indulging all of this, where it comes to a point where later in your life, you're only spending on medical bills and you're always in the hospital? Why? So it all starts with sense control. Now, how do you build sense control? By understanding the power of your mind. How do you understand the power of your mind? By understanding spirituality. Understanding how you can master your mind. Your mind can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. And in your 30s, you can redefine that. And when it comes to health, how you can start to build your core, how you can start to build your immunity. So when you change your lifestyle habits, when you detoxify yourself, you'll be able to make better decisions. And finally, the last point is your passions. When it comes to passions, there are 3 things I would like to share with you. The number one is your inner talents. During your school days or during your younger days, you might have had some inborn talent in you, and maybe now you're in your 30s and you've totally forgotten about it. Go back to it. Like for me, making music has been there right from my childhood. Even now I make music, I make sets, and I upload on SoundCloud, on my SoundCloud channel, every week or every month, the series called Elevation, and I reconnect myself with my music. And my wife and I, we also make fusion music. We launched an album in 2009 and we keep launching from time to time. So reconnecting with your inner talents will also ignite your inner child, will heal your inner child. Now, what do I mean by inner child is things that you were really good at and passionate about in your childhood days. Bring back that spark that was there in you when you were a child. Most people in their 30s, they lose the spark. Now they get too held up in responsibilities. You don't have to be in that way. And finally, the last point is, how do you realign your passions to give you more inner fulfillment? Like when you do more of what you're born to do and your passions and talents, you will have that inner fulfillment. I hope you found this video useful. And I want to just quickly recap. We spoke about the 6 stages of life. We spoke about different aspirations in the 6 stages. I shared with you what are the situation in your 30s, what should be your game plan, your money, your relationships, health, and passions. And I hope I've been able to convey that it is not too late to start in your 30s. All you have to do is take a clean sheet of paper and start writing down what you want. Just imagine that sheet of paper is like a genie where whatever you write is going to come true. Start to think big. Anything is possible. Now, whether you believe in yourself or not, I believe in you. I believe that you have the potential to do amazing things. You just need to tap into your core, get clear on what you want, and just be optimistic about life. Why so serious? Bring back that spark that was there in you in your teens and your 20s. May your 30s be the start of the new chapter in your life. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.